Hi, I'm Paul Tron, and if you watched my previous videos, you now should have Visual Studio installed and be able to run your first application. In this video, what I'm going to be talking about is data types, so different types in C#, and this is something you'll likely just want to memorize for the most part. And yeah, so to get to this or a list of these, you can just Google C# data types, click on a link, and you'll see something like this. So to get started, I'm just going to give an example. So let's open up Visual Studio, just like you learned in the previous videos. I'm going to create a new project, so File, New Project. I'm still going to stick with Windows Forms applications. I'll click OK, and it will bring me here. So what I'm going to do is I will just double click up here again. That brings me to this form load. I'm going to go to the toolbox and add a text box. So text boxes display text or strings. If you remember in the last video when I assigned text box 1.text, it was of type string. So what I'm going to do is just say textbox1.text is assigned to, and then double quotes. So double quotes just means it's going to be a string, so double quotes before it and after, and a semicolon after to say that this is, just to close out the statement in C#. So let's run this. To run it, I just hit F5. You can either hit F5 or hit play, the little play icon, and I get hello. So let's close out of that. So now let's talk about data types. So the first data type I would like to talk about is an integer. And if you remember from middle school, high school, an integer is really just a whole number. So I can declare an integer by saying int and then giving it a name. So I'm just going to call it I, and I can either put a semicolon after it to say, okay, I'm just declaring this integer, this I as an integer, or I can actually say I, represents, let's say 5. So now if I want to see what I has stored in it, I can display it in text. And as you can see, when I hover over this text here, it's saying that it is of type string. So that first top left word right there. And the I is underlined. The reason that it is underlined is it's saying, hey, I can't convert this integer to a string implicitly. So what that means is I can't just do it. You have to explicitly tell me to convert it to a string. So let's just say dot to string and parentheses. So now what this is doing is it's converting this I to a string and then passing it into text. So let's run it by pressing F5, and now I got 5 there. So I's are just integers, or integers are just whole numbers. So let's continue. The next one I'd like to talk about is a double. So a double is essentially just a really big decimal value. So what does that mean? Let's just say let's just say DBL is equal to 5.5 and close it out. And now I'm going to just copy this DBL, and I'm going to replace I here with DBL, and now let's run it. And I get 5.5. So now let's try saying, let's go back to int I, and let's say int I is equal to 5.5. And as you can see, it gets underlined, and it's saying it cannot implicitly convert this type double to an integer. 5.5 is of type double, and it can't convert it. So obviously that's not going to work. So let's get rid of that, and let's continue on. So character is the next one. char, I'm going to delete this. Character, let's call it ch, and let's assign that to. So with characters, you have to put them in a single quote, and you can only put a single character in those single quotes. So now if I say, all of that, now it gets underlined. It's saying, hey, you have too many characters in this character. So let's just say C. And then let's assign text ch, and again it's saying, hey, you can't implicitly convert type character to type string, so you're going to have to convert it. And the way to do that again is to say .toString with parentheses, and what that's going to do is convert the ch to a string, pass it into text, which accepts strings, and then we can run it, and I get a C as my output. The next one would be a string. Obviously we've been talking about strings a lot, so let's create one. Let's say string str is assigned to being hello world and a semicolon after to close it out. And now, whoops, so you have to have double quotes, not single quotes. So I gotta fix that. And so I'm declaring str as a type string and assigning it to hello world with a period, and then I'm just saying assign this text str, and let's run it, and we get hello world with a period. And the last one is a type Boolean. So what is a type Boolean? A type Boolean is a 0 or a 1. It is true or false. So if I say bool, let's just say bln, is assigned true. And true, you can actually type out the word true, or you can type out the word false. And again, if I say bln, it's not going to allow me, right? It's going to say cannot implicitly convert type bool to string. So you have to explicitly tell it, hey, convert this to a string, and I get the word false. So even though I put a lowercase f here, it doesn't matter, because this bln can only store a 0 or a 1, right? So I can also say true and run it again, and now I'm getting capitalized true. So when it converts this this Boolean from true to a string, it converts to a capitalized true, and we get our output as true. So that'll be it for today. Let me know if you have any comments or suggestions in the comments below. Please subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff, and yeah, keep watching. Thanks.